Well, today marks 1 year since Tellico Plains had the highest level of flooding in recorded history. The area recorded more than 7 inches of rain in just a few hours then, causing extreme flash floods for people there. Our Aaron Rogers is live in Tellico Plains this morning. Aaron, I remember being there at Fish Skins a year ago whenever they were opening the doors. Water was pouring out of the shops. I just remember those downtown businesses. What are they looking like 1 year later?
Yeah, and that's exactly where I am. I mean, Fishkins is right next door. I'm at Tellico Goods and Gear right now downtown, where they were hit really hard by this flooding. And I mean, when we're talking about floods, yes, but this amount of water was insane. I mean, the National Forest Service told us they were seeing from the Tellico River kind of pouring into downtown. It was the amount of an Olympic-sized swimming pool's amount of water every 3 seconds. Now, that's a lot of water. That's 700,000 gallons of water every 3 seconds. That was hitting businesses, that was hitting homes, that was hitting, I mean, everything down here. And so what you're seeing right in just a second, we'll show you some video of that flooding and the amount of that water. This is what you're seeing right now. This was the flood those days. And I mean, it was just, like I said, I mean, it was hitting everyone. I mean, it was hitting all sorts of stuff. And so the effects of that are still being felt. I mean, like, they're hitting everywhere. So the 7 inches was the amount of that water. And that may not sound like a lot, but because of the area, size, and geography, they had nowhere to go. So like I said, it went into roads, businesses, and even the water treatment plant. Now, like I said, I'm here at Tellico Goods and Gear, and I've got the owner, Maddie, here with me today, who's gonna talk to me a little bit. I mean, you were here. What was that day like for you?
I came in, it was a little bit of a surprise. I had a staff member text me and say, hey, be careful on your way in. We've had a lot of flooding. I got here at our highest point. We had about over a foot of water in our back area. It came in through the back. It made its way all the way to the front door. So we spent several days squeegeeing, mopping, borrowing shop vacs, anything we could do to get the mud out. Once we got the water out, the mud was our biggest problem. But I was really thankful to have several staff members and even strangers from the community show up and offer to help clean or bring us supplies, show up with mops and say, hey, I'm off work. What can I do to help? So to me, while it was a disaster, we had only been open about 4 months. It also showed me and restored a lot of faith in the community. People were showing up to help and being like, I can squeegee mud, you know?
So. Yeah, and so, I mean, like you were saying, I mean, you weren't just seeing water. I mean, it was coming from the river, so that was muddy water. I mean, so your entire business was full of mud. What did that do to, like, product? I mean, you said, I mean, you were having to squeegee things out. Were you drying out clothes, too, as well?
We thankfully did not lose as much as some of the other businesses close to us. We had a lot of things in plastic bins, but we definitely had loss. I mean, we had several shoe boxes that were submerged in water. A lot of shirts were stained and covered in mud. Funny thing that came out of it, we sold them at a discounted price, and it became a trend to the high school students. They were wearing the mud-stained shirts. So we tried to make the best of the situation. I think it was hard for everyone. You know, there was definitely loss.
Yeah. And so, like you were talking about that bounce back and that community support that you were feeling, is that kind of what you think kind of helped you and the rest of the community kind of get through this?
Absolutely. I mean, being such a new business when the flood hit, we did have a lot of support from the community. A lot of people came over from Knoxville. It's such a wonderful day trip from Knoxville or Chattanooga. They heard about what happened and wanted to support the community. And I hope that that continues.
Yeah, I do too. Thank you so much for coming out and talking to us and showing us your lovely business here and everything like that. And I did talk a minute ago about how the water didn't only just hit businesses, but it also hit the water treatment plant. And so tonight, actually, the city council is going to be having a meeting about that because it's still affecting people here and businesses where water will kind of go out randomly or come back on or whatever it may be. So they're having a meeting tonight, and I'll keep you guys kind of updated throughout next week as well about kind of steps moving forward. Kristen?
All right, Aaron, that's one of the things I remember most, just what she was talking about, people just stopping by to pitch in where they could to help those folks out. Our Aaron Rogers live in Tellico Plains for us. Aaron, thank you.